At an inn, the group was enjoying dinner, basking in the rare moment of peace. However, Qinjun's attention was soon drawn to a nearby discussion. Someone from Luoyang, Cheng had achieved a prestigious 5-star evaluation. Intrigued, he turned to his guards and inquired about its significance. Excitedly, one of them explained that the 5-star rating was part of the Qianlong Huiwu assessment, a performance ranking system. Achieving a 9-star rating granted the right to participate, while those unable to obtain even a single star faced immediate disqualification. Qinjun absorbed the information and casually asked, "So, how does one attempt this rating?" But in reality, his thoughts ran in a completely different direction. This madman was already planning to beat up a bunch of geniuses just to trigger a system quest and rake in the rewards. His conversation was suddenly interrupted by a familiar voice calling his name. Turning around, Qinjun recognized one of the individuals he had previously helped. The grateful man expressed his thanks, and soon more people gathered, expressing their gratitude to Qinjun for his past kindness. Late Qinjun collapsed into his seat, utterly drained. They called drinking and singing entertainment. That was exhausting. Nanhai, amused, teased him. "How does it feel to receive more and more treatment befitting an emperor, my naughty majesty?" Qinjun smirked. "Yes, my future dishwashers, glaze me." "This future emperor requires more worship." Daji, unimpressed, shot him a cold look. "What did you just say?" "Tonight, sleep alone, emperor." She turned to Nanhai. "Let's leave his majesty to rest like an unsheathed blade."
The next morning.
The next day, Qinjun made his way to the examination grounds for the 5-star rating. However, both he and Lin Yuaba were left speechless by the sheer multitude of people gathered there. "All right, Your Highness, this is the place. Best of luck and behave yourself," a guard advised. Qinjun waved him off. "No need. There are no rules on how one is supposed to reach the front, right?" He turned to Lin Yuaba with a sly grin. "Remember the story I told you about Moses splitting the ocean? Yeah, do that here, but with people." Lin Yuaba nodded, his eyes gleaming. "I do not have a staff, so I will have to improvise." With a single mighty push, Lin Yuaba unleashed enough force to scatter the crowd like leaves in a storm. Bodies went flying, clearing a direct path. Those ahead, witnessing this display of raw power, wisely stepped aside. The weak do not challenge the strong. They bow before power they cannot defy. As they approached the 2 massive pillars that formed a glowing portal, an exhausted young man emerged. The announcer's voice rang out, revealing that he had received a 1-star evaluation. A frail-looking candidate stepped forward, but before she could even attempt the trial, the announcer's gaze darkened. "Leave immediately. How dare you attempt this while only at the 2nd level of the Qi realm?" The young woman trembled and fled in terror. Qinjun, intrigued, leaned toward a nearby participant. "Who is that guy?" "That's the examiner. His abilities are unfathomable, and it is said that his eyes can penetrate the very essence of anything." Qinjun smirked. "So he possesses one of the forbidden abilities, the Eye of Didi."
What did he say?
As the examiner called out Qinjun's name, an intense gaze locked onto him. At that moment, Qinjun felt utterly exposed, as though he were being violated by an unseen force.
Daddy, yes!
The examiner's piercing stare sent a chill down his spine, making him feel like prey beneath a predator's watchful eyes. Finally, the examiner spoke. "Golden Core at the age of 16. Impressive. You may proceed." The crowd erupted into shocked whispers. A 16-year-old at the Golden Core stage. In the world of cultivation, such talent was considered genius level, worthy of recognition across kingdoms and empires. Not wanting to linger under the gaze of the diddler's eye, Qinjun swiftly stepped into the portal. On the other side, blinding light forced Qinjun to squint for a few seconds before his vision adjusted. He found himself in a vast open space, its eerie stillness making him wonder just where he had ended up. Before he could process his surroundings, a robotic figure suddenly lunged at him. Hey! Wait a damn minute! Time out! Tim out! Qinjun shouted, scrambling to summon his dragon spear. In one swift motion, he countered the dummy's attack, forcing it into defensive mode. The moment the dummy collapsed, a notification appeared. 1-star rating achieved. Chin-jun barely had time to celebrate before 2 more dummies emerged. His mind worked fast. If defeating 1 dummy earned a 1-star rating, then taking down 2 would grant a 2-star rating, meaning the difficulty increased with each stage. Realizing the pattern, Chin-jun steadied his stance, gripping his spear tightly. "All right, bring it on. Give me your best shot." He charged forward, ready for battle.